NSE was a corporatized entity, demutualized. There were no brokers on the board as well. BSE has always been a mutualized entity. The entire journey of demutualization of BSE started with a government mandate. When in 2001 we saw an incident happening which actually raised doubts about the integrity of the trading systems at BSE and led to an perception that the having brokers manage and administer the exchange as well as being a trading member is an inherently flawed concept of managing a stock exchange. And that's why it was rectified through Demutualization Corporation Act of the Government of India. One is the professionalization of the management, which is okay, which is easier when you get a professional board, you get a professional employees and management, and that's all. The other issue, which is corporatization, that is the more challenging, because you create a value, you put a value into that exchange and made that into a limited company, and where you have to have all the structure of a limited company. The first thing was the structure itself, conflict of interest and other thing. The second thing was, as a demutual entity, we did not have a clearing corporation. One is financial reporting for the listed universe to the exchanges and through onwards to the SEBI. Now that is where ease of operation. We have quarterly report, we have all the report, and SEBI's successive guidelines have become more tighter and more structured in terms of reporting. BSE is the world's second exchange when we got the ISO certificate, and that is very important, I believe, in terms of all reporting, because you have structured everything and you have a responsibility center. Financial literacy should become the de facto one of, just as you have a history lesson, it should be taught from the school level, and financial literacy should get a lot of focus, which I think is not there yet. You have MBAs, you have everything, but financial literacy for non-graduates, the people who have just about done their 10th and 12th, but they are entrepreneurs, they may do their own micro businesses. How do they take and grow? Like that's what, when I interact with startups and which I mentor them, this is where it comes, that how do they get that knowledge and that information and that expertise. So I think we need to further focus on that to spread that financial literacy across. It should be like just you understand your sociology, you understand your economy, you should understand your finance as well. I believe that exchanges should be given a limited banking license. Not going across loans or advances or something, but for the capital market. And just as you have depository on one side, you have a exchange bank on one side, and clearing corporation comes in, and that settles. But there was no potential. Why would anybody invest into regional stock exchanges when you have a national stock exchange available? Those companies who are SME, they may remain, but then they did not ever had that sort of a volume. So it was not a, I would say, economical or sustainable arrangement. So that's what it is. And that time we also launched a concept of SME exchange. During that time, of course, it took some time for regulators to come up to that level to launch SME. But the SME was there. So that SME could have actually the entire regional stock listed company, which were also sizable. During my time, we launched BSE's surveillance system, which was multi-exchange, multi-segment company. So you could integrate two exchanges feed, and you can look at up to the client level risk management. So that was a very good, and that the feed which we provided to regulator SEBI, and that's why SEBI can actually get assimilate BSE and NSE together feed and have a bird's view in terms of risk management, in terms of manipulation, in some trading. And this is what I would say is a very basis of start of a very good integrated surveillance system, market oversight, and that is very important.